Welcome to Universal Design Stories of Change. This podcast series aims to gather the experiences of persons with disabilities in Norway and internationally in order to gain a greater understanding of the benefits of universal design for persons with disabilities and everyone. We would like to thank the Norwegian Directorate for Children, Youth, and Families for their support, and the amazing team from Inclusive Creation for making it all happen. Enjoy this episode.
All right, amazing. Can you start off by just telling me your name and what you do for your work?
My name is Sayomdeb Mukerjee, but people know me as Den. Den is my nickname, which has been given by my father. And
Nice.
I work for Enable India at this point of time in India. Enable India works for economic empowerment and dignity for people with disabilities. And before that, I worked for various other things, like I was in media. I was a radio jockey. I acted in a movie. I have written 2 books. And I had been a computer programmer, by the way, also. So, yeah, all
Amazing.
those things I have done because I believe in something. That is,
Yeah.
I always try to take the first opportunity that comes in my life, because I believe that first opportunity is the most organic and natural opportunity.
Mhm.
And if you can take those, you go to the next level.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask you, let's just get stuck right in because I know you work a lot with startups and with entrepreneurs. So, what would you say is the one piece of advice you would want to give entrepreneurs who would want to make their products or services more accessible for people with disabilities?
It's not about accessibility in the beginning. It's about the psyche in the beginning. So if you really believe that your product would work, then you need to kind of go for it, push for it. You need to find ways and means to scale it. So if you have the such kind of psyche that I am going to make it work, nobody would make it work for you. You have to make it work for yourself. People are going to guide you, but your ideas are key because you are the entrepreneur. And when you are the entrepreneur, at that point in time, you need to understand how you want to move ahead in your life. Then comes the portion of accessibility. Accessibility portion is something which is very important. First and foremost, user-centric trials. User-centric trials is a target users. So when startups comes and joins the program of mentoring in any place, user-centric trial really is not a thing that they would take consider about. But your target group, you need to understand your target group. So my experience in last 4 or 5 years of working with the startups is that they think that their target group is a group which is narrow.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
come and join, they realize that their target group is much more larger. So
absolutely.
I'm just giving you an example. That is, when they come, one of them came and told that my target group is upper limb amputee. Okay, upper limb amputee.
Okay.
Okay, what
Yeah.
about people with quadriplegia?
Mm.
What about people with upper limb paraplegia? What about upper limb dexterity issues? Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I can do my things like that. Okay. Second level, when you are scaling, you need to diversify your products.
Okay.
One product cannot be sustainable forever. So when you are inventing, keep inventing for life. That's the way that
Nice.
Steve Jobs has already has proven. that you cannot sustain by making only one product. You have to keep on innovating because you have that gift given by God that you can be an innovator. And innovation will be something that would be helping you to grow.
I love it. I love it. It's so brilliant the way you've kind of contextualized the job of an entrepreneur through both the ideation and the scaling phase. I'm wondering for like product designers, do you have any advice you would give them if they know that they need to make their products accessible? They're not sure quite how. And I'm thinking, especially here, on the mechanisms or ways to involve people with disabilities in the design of the product.
So, one is co creation, because co designing is very important because creation is before creation, the step of creation, you need to design. And if you can involve a person with disabilities in the design level itself with a lived experience, you'd find that your designs are becoming continuously, your designing ability is becoming more of a inclusive one. Because when you are designing for the sector, you are also designing for a group of people who are not associated with the sector, people with having geriatric issues, people with a kind of having a neurological problem, which would kind of enhance them towards disability. So when you are designing, and designers, yes, one more thing that I would like to tell, that yes, designers, designing is a key to a product. I know that in the corporate sector, people get huge amount of money to be paid. I know that our disability sector cannot afford that amount of money to be paid to the designers.
Mm,
Despite of you, despite of you not getting the money that you can get in the long term, I believe, this is my strong belief, that you would get the job satisfaction of becoming an innovator
I
because you are
see.
doing it for the world.
Yeah, so it's kind of designing for extreme use cases makes you more innovative.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I ask some of the pushback I get from businesses, whether it's startups or established industry, is, oh, well, doing all this work is going to make everything more expensive. It costs too much. There's too many resources. It's an excuse, but I'm wondering, when you hear that excuse, how do you help a company or a startup kind of get past that?
See, there are difference in a psyche of a company, established one, and a startup. So companies, they have huge pool, but the startups does not have a pool. Startup has to be built step by step, and there the youngsters that comes in are leaving everything. If they go and join a corporate sector world, they would earn into millions instantaneously. With their thought, with their creativity, they would earn. But keep them going is a job of the coaches and the mentors, because it is very, very important that, okay, you are pushing me back. Okay, what is your problem? What is bothering you? You tell me. You develop that continuous relation with a personal touch to coordinate a relation to a next level of moving ahead in life is very important. This relationship development is very important. And when you are developing this relation, and when you are kind of establishing that your product is my product, your company is my company, though I don't hold a stake in it, but I trust you. And that's the way that I trust your company. That is a very important thing, that you are sending out a message that, okay, you are mine, I am you.
I
We are
see. I
together.
see.
Okay. And then you retain them, the youngsters, who are entrepreneurs, in a more broader way.
And so that it's really interesting how you're emphasizing relationships here and relationship building and how we design our companies and design our products. One of the things that kind of always been running around in my head is how people with and without disabilities build relationships between each other. Because it wasn't so long ago for me that I had never come into close contact with someone with a disability. It was maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So maybe it was a little bit of time ago. But I remember very vividly the first time I spoke with a colleague who was blind, and I had no experience interacting with someone who was blind before. Did not really know what to do or how to kind of act around them. And we were walking in the middle of the snow in Oslo to a restaurant together. And so he asked me, can I hold your arm while we walk? And I said, yeah, of course. And I still didn't quite know what to do. So I just asked him, like, am I doing it okay? Can I do anything else to help you along? So I'm wondering what you think people without disabilities can do to better build relationships with people with disabilities. What sort of what sort of acts, what sort of kind of ways of thinking should they bring to that
Anthony,
relationship?
marriage cannot happen between when one person is going forward. Marriage has to be a kind of a process of coming together. As person without disabilities is extending the hand, person with disabilities should not think that they are entitled for everything. And it should be an equal effort that should come in. And many of the places, as a person with disabilities, I see that is not happening. As a
I
person
see.
with disabilities, when you are embracing the difference, everybody will not understand disability, that you need to accept.
Yes.
How many years, how many hundreds of years it took to understand gender?
It's such a good analogy.
Uh, So, disability understanding is a process of
Yeah.
evolution. It cannot be revolutionized,
Yeah.
because process of evolution always works. Only
Mm.
hardly one revolution in the world has been successful. Only French Revolution has been successful. No other revolution has been successful. I don't regard Bolshevik Revolution to be a success, because at the end, in the 91, Russia was disintegrated.
Mm.
Bolshevik
Yeah,
Revolution was not successful. Only revolution was successful with the French Revolution.
I see. I see.
Therefore, we need to follow an evolutionary mechanism for
Mhm.
disability, with patience, with energy, with persuasion,
Yeah, yeah.
and matching up
That's
the person without disability and with disability is very important.
yeah,
Everybody
I
will
agree.
not understand disability,
Mm.
but it
Yeah.
is, as a people with disability, if we can give them a comfort zone, people without disabilities, that
Mm.
is the most important thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Very, very wise words. Very, very wise words. Is there anything else that I haven't asked that you think would be relevant that you would like to tell business developers, entrepreneurs, product designers?
Uh, Co-create.
Co-create.
When you are working, try to get at least one, in the ideation phase, one person to co-create with you from the ecosystem. Your intent is wonderful, your insights are wonderful, but co-creation would make you more usable. Your product would be more usable, your thoughts should be more usable, your pricing would be more user friendly. You would get to know the sector that you are catering to. You need to get in touch with the grassroots to go up towards the pyramid. You cannot land with a helicopter on the top of the pyramid. You need to be in the grassroots, and then you climb the pyramid, go to the top. Don't use a helicopter to land on the pyramid. You will not know what is needed in the grassroots level.
So start at the user level. And I love what you said about pricing. It's something I hadn't even considered before, that if you're co-creating with someone with a disability, you're more likely to nail the pricing correctly. And I think that's a really good insight because, yeah, even as long as I've worked in this field, I'm still learning something new from you. And so I want to just say thank you so much. It was
Thank you,
really a
Anthony.
joy to ask you all these questions, and your perspective is just so insightful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.